Candace Owens just completely embarrassed Piers Morgan on his own show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, when it comes to the topic of Israel. So let's get right into it because this one's juicy, it's fiery, and went viral for a very freaking good reason. Let's go.
I had Dan Bilzerian on Uncensored recently, and I got to say, it took a pretty shocking turn, the interview. I hadn't fully factored in just how, in my opinion, after talking to him, brazenly anti-Semitic he is. And this included this clip here. Do you not understand why Jewish people might feel a sense of victimhood, given that 6 million of them were killed in World War II by a genocidal monster in the Holocaust? Do you not understand why that might make Jewish people feel that, yes, they have indeed been victims?
Yeah, I mean, that figure's been revised. They said that it was 4 million that died in Auschwitz, and then they said it was down to 1 million. So they've revised the figure.
Well, how many people? How many people do you think were killed in the Holocaust?
271,000 that died in Auschwitz.
How many do you think were killed in the Holocaust?
I don't know, but I would bet my entire net worth that it was under 6 million. The evidence all says that it was less than 6 million. I mean, just the mathematics don't work. Like, you can't cremate that many bodies.
I'm sorry, but I just find that unbelievably offensive, and I'm not even Jewish. You see, this is where I'm like you. I think there's been a weaponization of all these things. Whether you're transphobic, you're racist, you're sexist, you're anti-Semitic, whatever it may be, you're Islamophobic. I mean, people just spray this stuff around all the time to the extent where it does become meaningless. And actually, people who genuinely are those things, they get caught up in the wash and almost protected by the kind of wash of stuff. But when you hear someone like Dan Bilzerian, what do you feel about someone like him?
Yeah, so I actually didn't watch that interview, so I haven't seen it in its full context, and I try never to weigh in on clips because there'll be something I'm missing, and then everybody screams at me. But what I will say is this. The larger discussion that's happening right now is whether or not having survived a Holocaust gives you the permission to commit a Holocaust. And for whatever reason, people have been, what I would say, milking the Holocaust narrative in the same way that Black Americans were milking the slavery narrative and essentially saying, like, we lived through this and we survived this. And so now nobody can say that anything we do is wrong. And that's the big issue today, is that we have so many people that will not recognize that it is totally feasible that a Jewish person, and I'm speaking here about Bibi Netanyahu, could do something as horrific as what was done to the Jews throughout World War II or throughout history.
But is that an accurate comparison? I'll tell you why I say that. As we know, I mean, whatever Dan Bilzerian wants people to believe, 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. Another 6 million people were murdered by Hitler and the Nazis. The numbers of people being killed in Gaza are, in my view, have gone way beyond what is acceptable as a response to October the 7th. However, you're still talking about, at the moment, a death toll of under 50,000. There's no comparison in the amount of dead people compared to the Holocaust. So do you understand why?
But it is a Holocaust, what's happening.
Well, is it though?
Yes.
Well, I think language is really important.
I think language is really important as well, and that's
people
why
say Holocaust, genocide,
I
and so
think
on.
what's happening is a Holocaust. The burning bodies of the children that I'm seeing every day, and we spoke about this a little bit on my show, but I have recognized that the ability to see this stuff every day has transformed my opinion. Maybe the numbers wouldn't have gotten so high if people had spoken up when it was happening at the very beginning during World War II. And so I want to use my platform to say that I believe that they are intentionally executing a Holocaust. I think Bibi Netanyahu, there's tons of evidence, and obviously the Western media is not reporting on this, but the corruption trials that are going on with Bibi Netanyahu pertaining to October 7th and him editing the transcripts and the prior knowledge that he knew is now becoming extremely pertinent. It is a question as to whether or not he allowed the attacks to take place, essentially to then be able to go in and to commit this Holocaust against the Palestinians.
Wow, so much. I don't want to repeat what she has to say, but let me just put this out there. I'm against all genocide, okay? I'm against killing innocent people. I don't like it. I'm a woman, okay? I know more must happen. I don't like it, but I wanted to show you guys this also. This was so interesting. So Candace Owens shows how Benjamin Netanyahu, you know, the leader of Israel, pretty much maneuvers and manipulates the United States of America to get what he wants. And like Candace said, there's a difference. Like, you can criticize Israel, which is a government, versus Jewish people, okay? These are two separate things, YouTube. Do not take this video down. Do not block my video. Do not block my channel. By the way, subscribe to my channel because this is a risky video, okay? But I don't want to just pump out content that's not interesting to me. So I wanted to show you guys this. So please subscribe, like, comment, comment an Israeli flag or a Palestinian flag or the American flag or the gay flag. I don't care. Comment anything to help boost this video in the algorithm. Let me show you guys this shocking revelation. Not that shocking, but it just proves. It proves why it makes sense if you are an American citizen to criticize the Israeli government. Again, YouTube, not Jews. The Israeli government. I have to be really careful here, guys, okay? Okay? I can't have full control over what I say because I will get censored, obviously.
His ambitions, if you will, against the Palestinians and how he lied and how he is
So she says this is about Benjamin Netanyahu? How do you say that name? Netanyahu. It's kind of fun, but like also, why is it so hard to pronounce? Get a name that's easier to pronounce, like George Floyd. Anyways, that's what we're talking about. Let's get into it. I'm a weirdo, okay? Sorry.
Ambitions, if you will, against the Palestinians and how he lied and how he is easily able to manipulate the American people really into believing that they're the victims while they're the aggressors. Take a listen. He says the main thing is, first of all, to strike them, not once, but several times so painfully that the price they pay is unbearable. So far, the price tag is not unbearable. I mean, a large-scale attack on the Palestinian Authority, causing them to fear that everything is about to collapse. Fear is what brings them. Hold on, this woman asked, but then again, the world will say that we're the aggressors. The reporter's saying this. They're going to say that we're the aggressors. He says they can say whatever they want. But aren't you afraid of what they'll say, Bibi? Aren't you afraid? Bibi Netanyahu answers and says, and she says, especially today with the U.S., aren't you afraid of what they'll say? Bibi answers and says, I know how they are, the United States. America is something that you can easily maneuver and move in the right direction.
He is right about that.
And even if they say something, so they can say something, so what? 80% of Americans support us. It's absurd. Look, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid to confront Clinton. I wasn't afraid to go against the UN. What happened with the Oslo Accords? The accords which were ratified by Parliament, I was asked before the 1996 elections, will you fulfill them? I said, yes, subject to reciprocity. I gave my own interpretation to the agreements in such a way that will allow me to stop the race back towards the 1967 borders. How do we manage this? Well, because nobody defined what the military facilities were. So I defined them as being buffer zones, the entire Jordan Valley for me. Nobody has, I mean, this is just an incredible clip. He's basically saying, don't care what America says, don't care what the UN says, I will defy them, I will mock them, I will be tricky. The Oslo Accords, I was never going to make good on that. I was never going to allow Palestine to become a state. I realized that I could maneuver the language, and he's laughing. He is, I mean, he is caught on camera saying this way before October 7th. And yet you still have Americans who are not awake to the fact that our foreign policy is being dictated by this man. Billions of dollars going into the Middle East, not benefiting Americans whatsoever. And again, these Likud party journalists they are not dually loyal. Do not accuse them of being dually loyal. They are loyal to Israel.
Yep, absolutely. And I have to be careful about what I say on this topic just because it is so... Like Candace said, so many people, and especially all the mainstream institutions, including YouTube, support Israel, and you can't criticize them. And I'm not necessarily here criticizing them, okay? I'm just pointing out, I'm reporting on what Candace Owens is saying here. And I want to point out something else. I have Orthodox Christian family members that live in Palestine. They're not Muslim, they're not Arab, they're not like crazily Islamists. No, they're just Orthodox Christians that happen to live in Palestine. Should they be genocided because they live there? Like, I want to point out, I'm against all genocide, okay? Okay? Gosh, I don't want to say much more on this topic because I'm afraid of how YouTube, which I will call a different name, but I can't say it on here because I'll get censored. I'm afraid to see what YouTube will actually do about what I have to say, so I'm going to leave it at that. But you have to understand that this is why Candace Owens was so strongly attempted to be canceled by the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, by everyone, slamming her. She's named Anti-Semite of the Year. Why? Because she's sharing and translating clips of the leader of Israel, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. Who is that? I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but Benjamin Netanyahu. What he has said about America. He literally makes fun of America and how we are blindly supportive of him. But that makes her the anti-Semite of the year. And as she pointed out, and I said earlier in this video, there's a difference between criticizing Jewish people and the Israeli government. So take that, YouTube. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, comment an orange heart for the algorithm. Make sure you subscribe, support the channel, like the video. It really does help make the video perform better. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios, amig. Bye. What, can I see that? I don't know. We'll see. Bye.